Britain ruled a quarter of the planet, controlled every ocean, built cities on 6 continents, then destroyed it all, on purpose. Not from invasion, not from revolution, from a single decision so catastrophic it ended 300 years of dominance in less than a decade. This is how the most powerful empire in history committed financial suicide, and why that choice is happening again, right now. 1939. Britain owns the world. The sun never sets on British territory. India, Canada, Australia, half of Africa. Every major trade route. The Royal Navy? Bigger than the next 3 navies combined. London isn't just a capital. It's where global money lives. The pound is the reserve currency. Every transaction on Earth flows through British banks. Britain doesn't just have an empire. Britain is the empire. Then Hitler invades Poland, and Britain faces a choice that will destroy everything. Here's what nobody tells you about that choice. Britain didn't have to fight. Let that sink in. Britain could have stayed out, let Germany take Europe, protected the empire, kept the money flowing. Switzerland did it. Sweden did it. Spain did it. Plenty of British politicians wanted exactly that. The empire was making them rich. Europe was chaos. Why throw it all away over Poland? But Churchill saw something else. If Germany takes Europe, they control the resources Britain needs: oil, steel, food, and eventually, they come for the empire anyway. So Britain declares war, and the clock starts ticking. Because here's what nobody in London wants to admit. Britain can't afford this. The empire looks massive, endless, unbeatable. It's all debt, loans, credit, the illusion of wealth held together by promises. Britain's actual factories, fewer than Germany's, way fewer than America's. The empire produces raw materials, rubber, cotton, tea. But turning that into tanks, planes, bullets? Britain doesn't have enough factories for that. So what does Britain do? They borrow, massively. And there's only one country rich enough to lend, the United States. But here's the problem. America doesn't want to fight. Congress won't allow it. The public has zero interest in another European war. But America is very interested in making money, so Roosevelt makes an offer. Lend-Lease. America will supply everything. Weapons, ships, food, fuel, but not for free. Britain pays in cash, in gold, in assets. And when those run out, in pieces of the empire itself. Churchill knows it's a trap. Knows America is buying Britain's position piece by piece. But he signs anyway, because losing to Germany means there's no empire left to protect. The payments start. Gold first. Britain ships its entire reserve across the Atlantic, billions, moved in secret on warships. Then the cash runs out, so Britain starts selling. Military bases in the Caribbean, gone. Traded for destroyers that barely float. Strategic ports, technology, patents, anything that converts to bullets. And it's still not enough. By 1941, Britain is functionally bankrupt. The empire still exists on paper, but the wealth, drained, gone, fed into the war. Then December 7th happens. Japan attacks Pearl Harbor. America enters the war. Britain finally has the ally it needs, the industrial giant that can actually produce enough to win. But there's a cost nobody's talking about, and it's not in any treaty. The cost is this. Britain can't be a rival anymore. Before the war, Britain and America competed for markets, for influence, for control. After the war, competition's over. America doesn't just help Britain win, America replaces Britain, takes its spot, absorbs its role, and Britain lets it happen, because by 1945, there's no other option. The war ends, Germany crushed, Japan surrendered. Britain should be celebrating, rebuilding, recovering. Instead, Britain is the most indebted nation in history, owes America an amount that will take 50 years to repay. The empire is still there, technically, but maintaining it costs money Britain doesn't have. So the dismantling begins, not from revolution, from accounting. India goes first, 1947. Not because of Gandhi, because Britain can't afford to keep it. The cost of administration, military, infrastructure, gone. The jewel of the empire, released because of bankruptcy. Then Palestine, Burma, Malaysia, one by one. Territories that took centuries to conquer, abandoned in years, not from defeat, from math. But here's what nobody talks about. America wanted this. Roosevelt hated empires, saw them as obstacles to free trade. So while lending Britain money to fight, America was pressuring Britain to dismantle the empire. And Britain, broke, exhausted, desperate, agreed. The empire that ruled the world dissolved itself to pay for a war. But was Churchill right? Here's the terrible truth. Britain made a choice that destroyed the empire. Fought a war it couldn't afford, bankrupted itself, lost global dominance, and it might have been the only choice that mattered. Because if Britain hadn't fought, Germany wins, Britain survives. Under German domination, the empire exists. Technically, carved up by fascist powers, Britain chose to destroy its own empire rather than hand it to someone else. Financially catastrophic, but it might have saved the world. So why does this matter today? Because every major power faces the same math. How much can you spend on defense before you go broke? How much debt before it destroys you? America's facing it now. Trillions in debt, military everywhere, an empire in everything but name. Can it afford this? Or will it collapse like Britain? Not from defeat, but from cost. China's watching, learning, building empire through loans, debt traps. Taking ports when countries can't repay. Not war, loans. The same weapon America used on Britain. Russia's trying something cheaper. Cyber war, misinformation, destroying rivals without the expense. Because everyone learned Britain's lesson. Empires don't die from losing wars. They die from winning wars they can't afford. So was Churchill right? Did Britain make the correct choice? The empire's gone. The pound's not the reserve currency. London's not the center of finance. But Britain still exists, as a nation, as a democracy, as a place that didn't live under fascist boots. Worth it? Churchill thought so, bet everything, and Britain paid. For decades, piece by piece. The empire that ruled the world broke itself, not from weakness, from choice. The choice to fight when the math said stop. The choice to borrow with no way to repay. The choice to sacrifice dominance for survival. And Britain proved something most empires never admit. Power isn't about how much you control. It's what you'll lose to protect what matters. Britain lost an empire, kept itself, and every nation with power is still asking if that trade was worth it. Because empires don't get to choose if they fall. They all fall. The only choice is how, on your terms or someone else's. Britain chose its own, paid with 3 centuries of empire. The empire's gone, but the choice echoes through every decision every power makes today. How much will you sacrifice to survive? And what's left when you're done? Britain answered. The world's still deciding if it was right.